Good morning, students. Hope you are doing well. Dear students, today's topic is future time reference. The title of the topic must be making you curious because you have heard about the future tense but not so often about the future time reference. Thus, today we shall discuss it in detail. Before going into details, let's have a look at the learning outcomes. Means what you will be able to do after the topic's completion. So, after completion of the topic, you will be able to interpret the future time reference, means you will be able to tell or explain the future time reference. Secondly, you will be in the position to make appropriate use of future time reference. Dear students, do you think there is any difference between future tense and future time reference? Well, actually, these are two sides of the same coin, but still have a difference in their implication as well as application. And this will be clearer to you in the next slide. Let's try to understand future time reference through this explanation, which says the future is uncertain. We know the present and past, but we do not know the future. There are several structures and tenses to talk about future. It is usually the degree of certainty about the future that decides our choice of structure or tense. In simpler words, tense represents time, but as we know that the future time is uncertain, or the things or the actions which we expect that they will happen in the future are not sure to happen in the future. So it's not appropriate to talk in terms of fixed future time. Rather, the future can be referred through various expressions which we are discussing thoroughly in the upcoming slides. Let's have a quick look at the given sentences. I will help you carry those bags. She is going back to work tomorrow. She is flying to London next week. The bus leaves at 6 o'clock. The prices are about to go up. By this time tomorrow, he will be lying on a beach. Now, in these examples, you must have noticed that though all the sentences are in future tense, but they have a variety of structures. They are actually referring to future time in different ways. These are mainly 6 different ways or structures to refer to future time. The first one is shall or will plus base form of the verb. To be, going to plus base form of the verb. Present continuous, present simple, to be, about to plus base form of the verb, and future continuous. We will be discussing all these structures one by one in the upcoming slides. Here is the first structure, which is shall or will plus base form of the verb. It is used for things decided on the spot, which means this pattern is used in future tense when the action talked about in a sentence is decided on the spot instead of having a fixed agreement or arrangement. If we talk about the formation of questions using shall, then it is used when the subject is in first person, that is I and we. For example, shall I help you with that? Shall we go for a swim? So, in this example, the action seems to be decided on the spot. In continuity of the previous slide, we can see that in rest of the situations we use will. For example, I will take the bus, you will listen to me, we will make dinner, they will drop by. So you can see that it is just a spontaneous way of referring to an action in the future. Now let's see the formation of questions with will, for which the basic pattern is will plus base form of the verb, and of course question mark is to be put at the end. For examples, will he put up his tent? Will she celebrate her birthday? Will you park your bikes in the shed? Let's have a look at the negations with will, which means how to form negative sentences using will along with not and base form of the verb. So the patterns for this are will not plus base form of the verb and shall not plus base form of the verb. Will not as a contraction is pronounced as won't and shall not is pronounced as shan't. But it is to be kept in mind that the second pattern is no more in use, or we can say it is rarely used, but still it should be there in our knowledge. If we talk about its examples, so these are shan't I get sunburned, you won't cross the road, it won't be easy, we won't make the beds, they won't need a passport. The next structure of future time reference is to be plus going to plus base form of the verb. This expression of future time reference is used when there are fixed plans made for the future. We need to know when it is going to happen. So, the time referring words or phrases are important in the formation of these sentences. For examples, I am going to help my brother next week. It is going to rain tomorrow. We are going to cook dinner tonight. They are going to mark the test in an hour. So, in all these examples, you can see that the actions seem to be predetermined on the part of the subject or the doer of the action. But the second example, that is, it is going to rain tomorrow, might confuse you. That how can rain be a part of a fixed plan? So, here it is to be remembered that actually the rain is not fixed here, rather, the degree of certainty of rainfall is more in the mind of the speaker while he is talking about the possibility of rain the next day. And you can also see that the time referring words like next week, tomorrow, tonight, etc. have been used. Let's see the formation of questions with the structure to be plus going to plus base form of the verb. In this case, we have simply to remember to use the helping verb according to the tense at first, followed by the structure and the object, and of course the question mark at the end. For examples, am I going to pass my exams this afternoon? Is she going to visit her aunt soon? Are they going to run the marathon next Monday? As explained earlier, negatives or negative sentences are simply formed by adding no or not before the structure. For example, I am not going to learn it by heart this evening. He isn't going to buy a new computer on Tuesday. They aren't going to watch the telly this night. The next structure through which the future time can be referred is present continuous tense. This tense is used for future reference when we are talking about plans in the near future. We need to know when they are happening. So, the mentioning of the time referring words is also important in this case. For example, I am working this afternoon. He is calling her in the morning. We are driving down the street any minute now. In these examples, you can see that though the syntax or the pattern is used here is of present continuous tense, but the words that is referring to the future time are this afternoon, in the morning, any minute now. So, this is how present continuous is used for future time reference. Present simple tense. This tense is also used for future time reference. This tense is used especially when we are talking about fixed schedules. For example, the lesson starts at 8:30. The bus arrives at 10 o'clock. The train departs from platform B. In all these examples, whether it is the starting of the lesson, the arrival of the bus, or the departure of the train, all have a fixed time or schedule. To be about to plus base form of the verb is yet another expression of future time reference. This structure is used when you are on the verge of doing something. You use this form for something that can happen at minute from now. Means this structure is used when the expected action is going to happen any minute in the immediate future. The examples for this case are: the lesson is about to begin, the airplane is about to take off, they are about to open the department store. So all the underlined actions can happen at any point of time in the immediate future. Future continuous tense. This tense is used to refer to future time when you tell someone about your future plans, something that you will be doing at a specific time in the future. So, the mentioning of the time suggesting words becomes even more important and essential in this case. The pattern for this structure is shall or will plus be plus base form of the verb along with ing. Ing represents the continuity of the action. Examples: by this time next year I will be working at the head office. No, they can't help you tomorrow, they will be doing their homework. In both these examples, time suggesting words or phrases have been used, like by this time next year, and in the next example, tomorrow suggests the future time. Thank you, students. That's all at my end for this topic. I'm sure the learning outcomes must have been realized by you, as now you are able to interpret or explain the future time reference, and you are also able to use the future time reference appropriately. For the purpose of additional practice, an activity sheet is being sent along with this video, so attempt it well and get the feedback from your respective teachers. Thank you very much.